The Bentley Mulsanne is a premier sedan that is more luxurious, quieter and smoother than ever. If you like your space, you also have the Mulsanne Extended Wheelbase, which is 9.8 inches longer and has all the extra space devoted to the rear seat passengers, and is a new addition to the Mulsanne lineup for owners who would like something else to drive. Now, what features does Bentley offer with the Mulsanne, and how does it drive? This is one of the calmest Bentleys ever, despite the fact that it's still exciting to drive fast. The 2020 Bentley Mulsanne got a few minor visual updates, but the main money went into making Bentley's premier sedan more luxurious, quieter and smoother than ever. The Mulsannes are easily recognized because of a revised front end. Beyond the windshield's base, everything is brand new. New headlights and a larger, more angular grille with prominent vertical bars that resemble those on vintage Bentleys from the 1930s, 1940s and 1950s are the main alterations. Although the headlights are still circular, the smaller outer lights base have been relocated up to line up with the larger inner lights. This illuminates the droopy jowl appearance that the lower positioning of the outer lights on the original Mulsanne generated. There have been just modest external cosmetic alterations. New rear bumpers and rear lights with B-shaped light paths give the back end of the car a wider, taller appearance. Each of the three models in the lineup, the Mulsanne, Mulsanne Speed and the brand new Mulsanne Extended Wheelbase, has its own set of wheels, in addition to a vent graphic on the front fender that continues the B concept. The under-the-hood 6.8-litre turbocharged overhead valve V8, which has a basic design that dates back more than 60 years but has undergone numerous changes over the years, is the same for 2020 and is mated to the same 8-speed automatic transmission. 752 pounds-feet of torque is available from just 1,750 RPM, while the base output is 505 horsepower at 4,000 RPM. The Mulsanne Speed's engine produces 530 horsepower and an enormous 811 pound-feet of torque. The Bentley V8's low crankshaft speeds readily overcome mass and resistance, and at just 4,500 RPM it reaches its red line. This engine has the regal bearing of a steam engine from the time of the Industrial Revolution. Consider this for a second. Despite having a weight of 5,919 pounds, the Mulsanne Speed can reach 60 miles per hour in 4.8 seconds at a top speed of 190 miles per hour. The engine is supported by brand new active engine mounts that can cut cabin noise and vibration by up to 15 decibels, especially at slower speeds. The famous Rolling Thunder soundtrack of the massive V8 is still present, but it seems like the storm is far away rather than pursuing you to the tornado shelter. However, the improved suspension, which includes firmer control arm bushes, continuous damping control and higher capacity, more effective air springs, is the actual secret to making the Mulsanne feel considerably smoother and sound much quieter. The suspension also includes tyres, so Bentley collaborated with supplier Dunlop to create a unique foam that reduces the noise by 50%. The new air springs, according to Bentley experts, were crucial to boosting ride and body control, as well as lowering noise. After the first few kilometers in the Mulsanne, it becomes clear that they are correct. The ride is significantly smoother at low speeds, and the body movements are delightfully muted. The Mulsanne feels reassuringly planted and composed at high speeds, despite the fact that you are always aware that this is a big, heavy car. It also manages to remain surprisingly agile and responsive on winding lanes. When you pull the steering wheel off-center, the hydraulic power steering sublimates road sense behind a gluey layer, which has a number of advantages. Moreover, the 8-speed in the ordinary Mulsanne is less responsive to kickdown than the sportier configuration in the more potent, torquier Mulsanne Speed due to the slacker tuning of the transmission. It is preferable to switch to sport mode on mountain routes or when passing on 2-lane roads, or to utilize the paddles on the hand-stitched leather steering wheel to override the powertrain's computers. For the first time in the ultra-luxury sedan market, the Mulsanne Speed is now available with carbon ceramic brakes. Nearly £6,000 of luxury limousine travelling at 190 miles per hour means a lot of kinetic energy. Although the $17,335 option price might seem high to us wage slaves, in the context of the Mulsanne Speed's $335,600 base price, they're well worth the money, delivering a great pedal feel and unquenchable stopping power. Bentley engineers went to great lengths to eliminate the squeaks and rasps typical of high-performance stoppers. However, contemporary luxury goes beyond just smoothness and elegance. Today's plutocrats demand complete connectivity from their mobile temples. As a result, the Mulsannes come equipped with a new entertainment system that includes a 60GB solid-state hard drive, an 8-inch touchscreen in the dash, and a haptic controller in the center stack for those who detest having their fingerprints all over the place. The navigation system makes use of Google Earth images, and the driver can choose to have map details or other information displayed on the screen that sits between the conventional Bentley analog speedometer and tachometer. Bentley was also able to update some of Mulsanne's electrical design because each car is hand-built and takes 400 hours to complete, 20 times longer than it does for Toyota to produce a Corolla. As a result, adaptive cruise control, blind spot warning, and adaptive headlamps that alter the beam's width and reach based on speed are now standard equipment for the Mulsanne. Of fact, none of this technology is groundbreaking, but adapting it to an older car is no simple task. The Bentley Mulsanne ups its game in all the right places to keep it competitive with the Rolls-Royce Phantom at the high end of the ultra-luxury sector and the Mercedes Maybach at the entry-level end. It is smoother, quieter, more refined and better connected. For the majority of us, a sedan with a basic model starting at $335,600 looks extravagant and unjustifiable. But for those who can afford it, the Mulsanne is more than just another car because it is painstakingly put together by skilled craftsmen. It takes 150 hours to put together the interior, which includes 480 individual pieces of leather and 40 pieces of precisely matched and highly polished wood veneer. Customers who sought the Bentley experience from the back seat prompted the development of the Mulsanne Extended Wheelbase. Although the majority of Mulsanne owners drive their own cars, there are some who hire chauffeurs. They have plenty of room in the rear seat of this enormous Mulsanne thanks to its 9.8-inch wheelbase stretch. Two exquisitely made aluminum tables that can extend out to a complete A3 surface tilt up to 20 degrees and support up to 88 pounds on their outer edges are integrated into the center console. Each table has 761 individual pieces and a fully mechanical mechanism with tuned springs and dampers that deploy the table without the use of any electric motors. The Mulsanne Extended Wheelbase also receives new rear doors with a significant break in the bodyline running to the rear haunch, a subtle aesthetic difference in addition to a revised roof and floor. The Mulsanne EWB weighs slightly over £6,000, which adds £100 to the overall weight. Bentley anticipates that the final numbers will increase the normal Mulsanne's 5.1 second 0 to 60 miles per hour pace by 0.4 of a second. However, the top speed is anticipated to stay the same at 184 miles per hour. So, what do you think of the Bentley Mulsanne? Is it the best luxurious Bentley ever manufactured? That's all from this video. See you in the next one.